Hello and welcome back to Wolf Welder 69. Today, the rods that I have are, I don't know what they are. They are 5/32 in diameter. The flux coating is fairly thin on them. The gray and almost very dull olive drab flux to them if you stare at it hard enough. And I thought they were stainless at first, but once they started rusting, it's clear they're not. They were mixed in with the container of 6013s, which look completely different, and these are not 6013s. And if they are, I have no idea what kind they are. Usually you can tell if it's 6013 by the way its puddle is, by how much flux there is. I mean, not always, but that's something I've definitely noticed with 6013s. I messed around with them some before. And let focus, whatever. You can see where the flux broke away. There's not much covering the rod. Just grab a couple, go through the paces, and see what it does. I've already kind of looked up some stuff. Don't know. I just don't know. For all I know, it could run... Well, the times before I tried to run it, it didn't run that great. But I barely experimented with it then. For all I know, it could be an AC rod, and it'll run awful because all I have is DC. Probably turn on, the ventilation fan here in a minute. I'm out of the glove. Another thing is, this up here. Instead of using a helmet, I've decided to get a piece of plexiglass and lay the phone on it. It works. Get an overhead view of what I'm doing. And the lens is still protected. Yeah, I wish I knew more on these. They actually did kinda-ish look like a 6013 gouging rod, which I guess is a thing, but they aren't. Probably already said that 4 different ways. I'm gonna run this at 5/32, so that's about as big as my water can handle, and get a decent puddle on it. I think any bigger than that, it runs too cold. I have run some 5/32 7018, and personally, I don't think it ran it hot enough. But 140 might be a bit much. We're just going to start at 140, then decrease from there. 140 amps. Stinger lead's coming out of the positive, so DCEP, I believe. Let's see what this does in the flat. Okay. I hear sparks going everywhere, but I don't see them. Sounds like a firework going off, or a sparkler. Turn down to 120. Yeah, this is what I remember last time. They did not want to run very well. 6012s I'll do later, and those I'd run at 140 amps and slightly long arc it. I really want a welder that can switch between AC and DC so I can test rods on both polarities. And I can go up to an amperage where I can even run 1/4 inch diameter rods, because I have some of those I'd like to try. Gosh. Maybe this is why I thought it was stainless. It's the way it is. But it's not. And get down in a position where I can brace my elbow in something. I'm like long arching it like nearly a 1/4 inch off the metal. It has like an 1/8 inch right now. But if I touch it to the metal, it dies. I don't know what's up with that. It's like a coat hanger. It's a flux coat hanger. I have no idea what this is. Whatever it is, it doesn't run very well. Try the next rod on the switch lead. Probably already said that, but whatever. I got this in a random bundle of assorted rods off eBay. It was like a mixed grab bag of stuff. There was some 6010s, 6011s, 6013s, 7018s, and some 66XH, which is like kind of like an jack of all trades specialty rod kind of stuff, which you can only find on one website. It actually does a pretty good job, but I'll go over more of that later. Try not to catch myself on fire here. It won't be the first time. It's like running a brazing rod with so many beads and metal spinning off. I mean, I know arc welding does that, but this is excessive. I'll clean that up in a minute. Let's try to weave it if I can. Yeah, well, that's not going to weave. My word, the fan on my welder is going nuts. The ones we have in the shop are great because they had a 100% duty cycle. Let that cool down for a minute or two and turn on the ventilation fan. It's smogging up in here. Wait a second, I'll pause this while I plug my grinder in. Alright. Grinder is plugged in. You see, that's what I was talking about. It has this blue and yellow colors to it. Like a stainless rod. It's not as colorful as a stainless rod. 1 second, let me grab another one. Goodness, it's smoky. So this is a 309-16. This is a stainless to carbon rod. Which made me think it might be some variant of that. Because this is a stainless rod, but it fuses carbon and stainless metals together. But it doesn't have very nice weld characteristics to it. Maybe switching leads would be better. Or maybe on AC, but unfortunately I don't have that. I could buy an AC welder, but I just stop spending money for a bit and save up some money. You know. Oh well. So the PennDOT job comes in if I get that, or some other one. So, maybe if I turn my flashlight on, I'll get some better light. Here, my flashlight's getting dim already. But there's that. There's not much to say about it. Got some big porosity holes in it. I'm just going to stick this up here, switch my leads, and try on the rod. If this is lined up right, yes it is. Okay. One thing about some rods is if it's not going to run well and flat, why bother running it through the other positions? It's going to just be worse. I might anyways, but, you know. Alright. Leads are switched. If this changes anything. You're always welcome to standing up. That doesn't work. Swapping leads with nothing. Now I have to long arc this to set it. I wish I knew what doing was doing. Hang on. See, look at that. See those blue colors in there? And that's normally what you experience with stainless. Not saying you can't with normal carbon steel, because it does change colors as it gets hot. Oh, oh my gosh, hang on. You have to pay attention to what I'm doing. Turn it up even more. Now we're at 140 amps, step 120. It's welding better, but I still can't touch the metal with it. I get really close with it though. I can leave. Quite the fumes to it. do, but maybe I'm just overthinking that. That seems like a lot. Who am I kidding? It's nothing to be concerned about if that's what I'll be doing for a career. Notes taken, lessons learned, skills added. That. Just gotta make sure it's in good position to film. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess since I'm here, I might as well run it through its paces. Not like it's going to do a great job by the looks of it, but it'll function. Probably out like 25 minutes long or something. Vertical up and vertical down. Vertical up is annoying. That is vertical up weave. Very high bead profile. Doesn't look pretty. Can't go very fast or else the arc cuts out. I'm going to try horizontal, then vertical down. Horizontal heat and vertical. And I'm not a weld motor. Okay, 2 beads horizontal, 1 is a weave.
Tell you one thing, it doesn't smell like a 6010. That's horizontal. Focus. That is the flat bead. That's a combo of a flat bead and a weave I try to do, and then there's the weave, which doesn't look very good.
Vertical, horizontal, flat. Try vertical down, then overhead. Vertical down is not done much overall. Then again, I could be wrong. There's probably some professions where it's done, but usually you go uphill.
At least in my experience. Which is only doing stuff in the shop, but that was something, I guess.
This is miserable going downhill. That's gonna stop that there. That's not even good.
That's interesting. That's vertical down weave. Focus. Or not, you don't have to. You get the idea. Nothing pretty to look at.
Alright. There. And finally, overhead. And this piece of metal I use for everything is getting awful junky. Could burn up that stuff, but I don't feel like it. It's not like the rods mean anything. And again, maybe this is just they need dried. Maybe this is one of those rods we're talking. One of those low hydrogen content rods, like a 7018. With best use in a rod oven, which I do not have. There's so many variables that can go to this one rod. That's one reason I love the stick welding. There's so much to it. You can get lost learning about stick welding. Practically.
2 inches long is good enough for this one. That's not even 2 inches. It's an awful overhead. Terrible. Even worse than vertical down. There's that. That was overhead. I didn't feel like persisting with it because it really isn't worth it at this point. Alright. I'd say that summarizes this thing. There's no colors in the end. No marks on the rod. No numbers on the rod. Nothing. Don't know what it has to do with them possibly being damp. Maybe they're an AC rod, or they're just not good rods. If I come across or into possession of an AC welder, I'll probably revisit this. Alright, that wraps it up.